Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as promised, we're gonna do a fairy painting, but this is an 11 by 14. So this is a little bit smaller canvas. And the reason I do some of my fairy paintings in the smaller ones is because a lot of times they get bought for children's rooms, so I can keep the price a little bit lower. So I was thinking about doing the border, but I think on this one, I'm just going to do it regular. So I've taken out some quinacridone magenta, some ultramarine blue, and some white. So that's what I have on my palette right now. I want to get the sky color in, and I do want some sort of like water coming down through here so we can put a bridge to, connect the two sides. So I'm going to get the background done, and then, we'll move on from there. So I'm just going to wet my brush a little bit. And so I'm going to have to do my sides, and I hate doing my sides. So I'm just putting some water on here. And it looks like there might have been a little bit of brown left in my brush, but that's okay. It will blend in. All right, so I'm going to start with some pink, and I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up. So I'm just going to kind of get a little bit of this. So the reason I'm using the pink and the blue is so I won't get any green going on in my sky, but maybe a little bit of purple. All right, so we're just going to go into the blue. I'm not even cleaning my brush in between. See how that's giving like a purple hue? So I am going to be doing a live here right off, and I'm going to be doing a 30 by 40 canvas. And the reason that I'm going to do a big one like that is, I'll have it for when I do the art walks, because it's easier to sell a large painting when somebody can, actually pick it up, go put it in their car, and I don't have to ship it, because just a regular, 16 by 20 is like $28 to ship. So, yeah, but the other reason that I'm doing it is I'm getting ready to do a mural in my bedroom. And I'm kind of still undecided at what I want to put for a scene. So I figured, I was talking to my husband, and he's like, well, why, I was like, I want to do a big painting, but I'm not sure what I want to do. And he's like, well, why don't you do something that you were thinking about doing on the mural, so that way you'll see if you like it. So I have a cape. So the wall over my bed is, well, behind my bed, my headboard, is the wall that I'm going to do. And it has like the slant wall. So I'm like, okay, that will, that would kind of work. And I thought I grabbed black, but I guess I didn't. All right. So yeah, and I'm gonna do that one live. So I cleaned my studio some today so that I can, because I'm gonna have to stand when I do it. So I've got to figure out how I'm going to position everything so that you guys can see everything. So I just want to get just a little something going in the back here. So I'm just putting it just on the very tip of my brush. So I'm just kind of pulling up and down. All right. Just so we have a little something going on in the backdrop here a little bit. And I'm gonna pick up I'm gonna pick up a little bit of the blue and a little bit of the black so we can just darken that, kind of make it like a grayish blue. And I'm just gonna kind of, just so we have a little something here. And I just figured by having that pink and purple sky would be kind of, you know, cool for a kid's room. You know, for a little girl's room. So we will have some water in this one. All right, so all right, we've got a little bit of water going. And then I'm gonna go back into the darker blue here. And now I'll just pick up some regular blue and just kind of blend them two colors. So I want an area that I can, it's like a, kind of like a river, coming right down off here. And I'm just lightly picking up that ultramarine blue, just giving a little bit of, and then I'll just pick up white, and we'll just kind of pull some through. You know, we could actually even put some little rocks or something in our little stream, but I want it to have, you know, some sort of movement. All right, I'm just gonna pick up more blue. All right, and we're gonna have land on the sides of these, so I'm not too worried about that. We can always go back in and add some more. I'm just basically trying to get some sort of what I want for a layout, because I think I want my bridge to come over here. So this is going to be a landmass. So let's grab some of the deep green. As I get it all over my thumb. All right, so I'm gonna take just a little bit of the black and mix it in with some of the green, just so we have a nice dark, grassy something back here. And we're gonna bring that right into our water. And then, you know, we're gonna add some highlights to it. So just trying to map in a little bit of a landmass down here, because we'll probably put some grass and we can put some rocks or whatever over it. All right, so, all right, hang on one second. My husband just got home with the groceries, so I'm gonna run up and help him and I'll be right back. Okay guys, sorry about that. It's snowing out, so I didn't want him to just have to keep going in and out, so. All right, so let's get that side painted. Might as well do the same on the other side. So what's everybody's weather? Where you guys are watching from? We are having more snow. We're supposed to have more snow again tomorrow. Like, ugh, I am sick of snow. As you can tell with all my sunset paintings. All right, so I'm just gonna bring some of that out. All right. And then I can go back in with water after. All right. Wipe this brush. And let's grab ourselves, let me see, what do I want to do first? I do want, let's see. So we're going to make this a fairy, so I definitely want there to be a tree. So let's get our tree in. Let's get some burnt umber. And let's get ourselves a tree, because we need it to be a decent size so that we can have like a fairy house. But I also I want to be able to put doors in the tree itself. So let's just start like up here, and then as we come down, just gonna push it harder. So I'm just going to use this filbert brush, and we're going to get just a couple of the bigger branches in. And I might have to switch brushes here. I'm just going to mix a little bit of black in with that so we can darken that just a smidge. All right, so we can have our little house here, and then I'll put some more branches on here in a second. Have some little like root areas here. And let's put another tree over here. And this one's gonna kind of go right off the canvas over here, the top part of it. All right, I'm gonna wash this brush, and I'm gonna go to either a flat or an angled. Let's see. Let's try this angled one. It might be a little too big, but we will see. All right, I'm gonna grab a little liner brush, and I keep forgetting that I had bought these new liner brushes. All right, so I'm gonna wet this, and I'm gonna go into the black and the brown. I'm gonna wet that a little bit. Thin that out so we can get our little branchies to getting a little bit more darkness in some of these. All right, now we do the other side. Because I don't want them to look like they're planned. I just want them to be sporadic and crooked and crossing over the other ones. Pick up a little bit of black in this one here. Bring that black in. Just getting a little bit more lightness. All right, let's get our little root area down in here. All right, so just want to darken this in here a little bit. And I am going to put a little bit of foliage up at the top. All right. So, got that done. I think I'm gonna get the little house in right now so that when I put my leaves, I kind of know where my little house is gonna go. So I'm gonna go with black for the roof. Let's see, how do I want this? There we go. So we have our little house. We know where that's gonna go. And then we can let our trees dry a little bit while I get some greenage. All right, so I'm gonna take a little bit of the black in with the green. And I'm not going to put a ton, but I do want it to, you know, look like there's a little bit of you know, especially like right here where I made it a little too thick. We'll just turn those into some branches, that's all. All right, I think that is plenty. Let me grab just a little bit of yellow. And this is just primary yellow. I'm just gonna go right in on my brush, and we're just gonna kind of go right over the top, leaving some of that, you know, that darkness. All right. So just wipe that off. Go back into the dark green and the black. And I'm going to just start getting a little bit of and now I'll go in with the yellow, and we'll do the same thing. You know, they wouldn't be really bright because, I mean, the sky is somewhat dark. And I purposely did that because I want to make light coming out of a door. So I purposely kind of wanted it to you know, be a little bit darker than all right. Now I gotta find a little tiny a small flat brush so we can get our a little roof on. Of course, we gotta have a little chimney. I'm going to use the burnt sienna for the house part. And we'll just see how that looks. Whoa. That almost made a mess. Wouldn't be the first time I've dropped my paintbrush right on my painting. And then I have to scramble to fix it up. All right, so I'm gonna add just a smidge of brown. So we have one side's a little darker than the other. All right. And I'm going to grab just a little bit of white. Kind of give it like a gray, gray hue to it. And that way, I can put a little bit of a shadow. All right. So we're gonna let that dry. Let me get my, all right, so I want a door. And let's use the burnt sienna. So that is like our little door into our tree. And let's give, let's see, we'll have this one. Right there. And we're just gonna put a couple of like little windows. I'm going to put this color, and then I'm going to go back in with like some yellow, but I just want to get the windows in. Because this is a little whimsical, you know, we can put anything we want in it. All right, so got that. All right, let's get our little house done. I'm gonna take just some yellow and we are gonna make a little window. Right there. So we've got somebody's home. Let's see, let's give it a blue. Let's give it a blue front door. Okay. And do a little bit of a window. In the front too. There we go. So we know somebody is home. So, and we're gonna have just a little bit. Well, let's give it 2 windows so we can have a little bit more light showing over this tree. There we go. Now the lights are on, but maybe nobody's home. We don't know. And gonna have a little light shining from inside. Now, I'm gonna go in with some yellow. Okay. And then I can define these with my little liner brush after. All right, so let's take some brown and white and give our door a little bit of like wood look. All right, so that's definitely too white. I'm just gonna go back in with the brown and we will Bring the brown through that. So I'm gonna go and we're gonna start like lightening up some of this tree here a little bit. And I barely have any paint on my brush. You know, because I want the tree to look like, you know, it's a tree. All right, so at least, you know, it's looking like it's a tree. We'll probably put some flowers too once we decide which way our bridge is gonna go. All right, so let me take a little round brush now and just define these windows here a little bit. I'm just going into the straight yellow now. And now I'm going to pick up just a little bit of white. A little too white. There we go. Just add some more yellow. Okay. Let's grab some yellow. And now a little bit of white in with that yellow. All right. We're going to put like little things so we'll know that they're windows. Now, I want to have some light coming out of this way so that the door, it's going to look like the door is kind of opened a little bit. So I've just got some really like watered down yellow. And I did add a little bit of white to it. All right. Now I'm just gonna add a little bit of black where those two, the light coming out and the, like, that would be the inside of like the door. And then I'm just gonna outline so we know that it's a door. And I'm gonna put a little bit of a landing because we're gonna have some stairs coming down. All right. All right, so let me just, all right. And I just got to put some black in between there now. Make that bigger. All right, let's put, let's see. Now we'll just kind of highlight our post. And put a little okay. All right, let's outline our little windows here. Just have a little, like a little ledge underneath. And this door is not going to be open. All right, and I'm going to pick up brown, white, and that burnt sienna color, just to give this door a little bit of a different color here.
You know, because our little fairies have to have a way to walk, you know, out of their little house to get down to the ground. All right, so yeah. And let's put a little pink doorknob. Got a hair or something here. Oh, I forgot to outline my little window here. Okay. And let's give this little guy a blue doorknob. All right, so
Alrighty. Just whimsical. All right, so let's get back to our water. And because I definitely want it darker around these little cove areas here. Just got some unfinished, like, showing canvas back here, and I'm not liking it, so I gotta just gotta fill that in. And the water would definitely be darker around the edges anyways. Just added a little bit of water. A little white in there. All right. Now, I gotta wait. I got paint all over the side of my brush here. Hang on. All right. So let's see. Let's do a bridge right here. Let's see. All right. So this one here, we're going to make a little bit wider. Because that is going to be where they walk. There we go. And take a little bit of the green and black. This area would definitely be shadowed in. All right. So let's start getting, we're going to make a lighter green. So I'm going to take that regular green and the yellow. And we're just going to make a lighter green so we can get some little bushes in. Definitely need more yellow. I'm going to add just a smidge of white in there, just so we can get a a little bit different shade. There we go. All right, so just want to have a little all right, and let's see, I'm gonna put another little bush, something down in here. So you want to vary your colors so that things, you know, kind of show up. All right, and I'm gonna take some yellow. And a smidge of white. All right. Now, I'm going to take some brown and some white, and we're going to a bit more brown here. All right. And then I can go back in and just add a little bit of green around this walkway here. All right. Let's see. let's see, what else do we want to put in here? I'm gonna take just a little bit of white, actually white and blue. And this is just a just a few little stars in there. Gonna take some white, water it down. Gonna have a little bit of smoke. And just put a little white dot in the middle, and that makes them shine. All right. I need a new paper towel. Sorry guys, this is going to be a long one. When I start with my fairy paintings, it's like, oh, I just want to keep going. So I do want to put a few like little daisies in. So I'm going to take some white and black, and we're just going to make like a little bit of a gray to start with. Let's see. Actually, I'm gonna take some of my yellow. No, I'm gonna do black. Let's see. All right. And I'm just going in with white. And then I can go in and I can fix the little heads. All right. Now it kind of looks like it's two. Alrighty. Now, I think we're just gonna leave it like that so that it's not too long. I'm just gonna just add a little bit of color in there. Just some different flowers here and there. All right. And I gotta stop because I'll keep going all night. And my poor husband is probably ready for some dinner. All right, so let me sign this. And let's see, what color? I'll do the blue. Yeah. I do want to do one little thing. I'm just going to take a little bit of black and just to give a little bit of so we kind of know what, you know, that background is. Yeah. All right, I think we are done now. All right. Alrighty, so this is our little fairy scene. Um, oh. All right, there. Alrighty, guys, I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.